weather every 10 and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
A Libby man pleads not guilty to a charge of deliberate homicide. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning for Tuesday, October 25th, 2016. Sky is cloudy. It's 39 degrees. We do have some bare and wet roads in the area. I-90 Frenchtown to Superior, US 93 up past Evero Hill, and US Highway 83 to Seeley Lake. Our newscast this morning sponsored by Transport Equipment, your headquarters for RV service, maintenance, and repair on Inspiration Drive. Call 541-9097. A 42-year-old Libby man charged with killing his estranged girlfriend has pleaded not guilty to a charge of deliberate homicide. The Flathead Beacon reports Trevor Joseph Mercier entered his plea yesterday in district court. Prosecutors allege Mercier killed 30-year-old Sheena Devine sometime during the night of October 5th at her residence in Libby. Charging documents say Mercier told investigators he went to Devine's home to throw rocks at her car windows, but she came out to confront him. He said he put her in a sleeper hold, causing her to lose consciousness. He said she was breathing and snoring when he left the house. The Western News reports investigators found a petition for an order of protection against Mercier on Devine's kitchen table. Mercier had been convicted of partner or family member assault against Devine in February. A 25-year-old Missoula man was living at his mother's home, was arrested by police Sunday morning after his mother reported that he struck her in the face. Police Public Information Officer Travis Welsh has more.
Officers responded to the 1300 block of South 2nd Street West for the report of a disturbance in the home. A 48-year-old woman had reported that her 25-year-old son had assaulted her before leaving the residence. Officers responded and did make contact with the 48-year-old mother, who did have minor injuries about her face.
The son was found intoxicated in his vehicle in the 300 block of Inez Street, just a few blocks away.
They gathered information about her son, who was subsequently stopped while driving away from the scene and taken into custody. He's also been charged with DUI as a result. He is 25-year-old Logan Gobert. He did have warrants outstanding for his arrest. He's also failed to register as a violent offender, so those have been added to his docket as well.
Gobert is facing 9 different charges as a result of the incident, including a disorderly conduct charge that carried a $25,000 bond. Because it's his third partner or family member assault charge, it'll be handled as a felony. He was seen in justice court yesterday, and bond was placed at $65,000. A second woman is accusing a former Helena police officer of sexually assaulting her while she worked as a confidential informant. A new lawsuit alleges Lloyd Matthew Thompson began grooming the girl when she was still in high school and then assaulted her after she became an informant for the Missouri River Drug Task Force in 2012. The woman alleges Thompson falsely informed her she was facing at least 10 years in prison for 2 felony charges and that she could help herself by becoming an informant. Another lawsuit filed in June alleges Thompson repeatedly sexually assaulted another female informant. Neither complaint has been served on the officer, the city of Helena, or Lewis and Clark County. Helena City Attorney Thomas Jodoin said Monday the alleged conduct is outside the scope of Thompson's duties as a police officer. Opening weekend of general rifle hunting season was nearly a carbon copy of last year's opening weekend. Vivica Krauser with Fish, Wildlife, and Parks explains.
If you look region-wide and you look at the total number of animals that pass through one of the check stations, we're at the same number we were at after opening weekend last year. 212 animals harvested this year and last. What did vary a bit is the number of hunters that were out. We actually had fewer hunters out this opening weekend than last year, so the success rate for those who were out was up.
The mule deer harvest continued its downward trend, but the Bonner check station was busy with whitetails.
We had 79 whitetails through Bonner, which was 41% up from last year and 55% above the 5-year average. You see a few whitetails come through the other check stations in Darby and Anaconda, but most of them come out of the Blackfoot, and we see them through the Bonner check station. Elk harvest was down through the Darby and Anaconda check stations, but identical to last year at the Bonner check station where we saw 21 elk.
Krauser said the decrease in the number of hunters is likely due to heavy rain over the weekend. The Top Hat in downtown Missoula was filled yesterday afternoon by supporters of an equal pay for equal work issue in Montana. Democrat State Senator Diane Sands, a supporter of fellow Democrat Governor Steve Bullock, helped to organize the event at the eatery in downtown Missoula.
We're having a rally about equal pay for equal work. I worked on this issue for over 40 years, and Governor Steve Bullock is the first governor in my lifetime who has made equal pay issues a priority. He started by establishing the Equal Pay Task Force, has instituted a number of executive orders that try to solve some of the problems around the pay inequity.
Sands went on to criticize Republican gubernatorial candidate Greg Gianforte on the issue of equal pay for equal work.
Equal pay is a huge issue, and Gianforte has made a statement that he does not support equal pay legislation. So there's a really clear choice in this upcoming election. You've got a governor who's supportive of equal pay and willing to do the hard work to move us forward on it, and you've got a man who, A, doesn't even believe that there is a problem with equal pay and has said on the record that he will not support equal pay legislation.
KGVO News contacted the Gianforte campaign regarding the claims Sands made about his lack of support for equal pay for equal work. Gianforte responded, quote, "It's another hypocritical stunt by career politician Steve Bullock, who failed to get the legislation through the session for the last two sessions." Spokesman Aaron Flint added this comment.
Bullock, as Attorney General, only paid women 72% what he paid men in his office. Plus, if you want to know Bullock's true thoughts on women in the workforce, look no further than his poor treatment of his female Lieutenant Governor, Angela McLean. Bullock locked her out of her Twitter account before eventually forcing her out of office.
Nationally, studies say that women earn about 74 cents for every dollar a man makes at the same job. Bozeman businessman Greg Gianforte has now spent more than $5.1 million of his own money to fuel his campaign against Democrat incumbent Steve Bullock. According to the latest campaign finance reports filed yesterday, the Republican cut his campaign two $1 million checks over the last month. Individual donors contributed another $238,000 between September 27th and October 17th. Bullock took in more than $313,000 during the same period. His biggest donations topped $10,000 apiece from 4 union political action committees and a lawyer's PAC. Bullock's campaign says it's received more than $3 million in contributions in total. The Democratic Governors Association is the largest outside group spending money to influence the governor's race. It has now funneled $3.35 million into the race through the Good Jobs Montana PAC. Our News Talk time is 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Off and on rain today around the Missoula area. Expect mostly cloudy skies and little drizzly conditions from time to time. High this afternoon right around 55. I'm meteorologist Matt Gray for the NBC Montana Severe Weather Alert Team.